Alright, good afternoon. Today we're going to do a overhead adjustment on a 2017 T680 Kenworth with the Paccar MX13. There's not a lot of information out there on these, so I thought I'd do a little video today, try to get some better information out there if people want to try to do some stuff themselves, save some money. Just kind of get right into it here. First thing you got to do, you got to remove your air box there for your air filter housing, which is pretty easy. And you go ahead and take the cover off like you'd be changing the filter. Once you get that off, you got 2 bolts here, then there's 4 bolts in the back. You take the 2 band clamps loose on the elbow there, going into the intake, and just break that loose, and everything should pour it out. There is a little sensor, which is just it's got a quick disconnect, so it's pretty easy to get off. And pull the 2 little clips off the bottom of the air box, and you should be good to go on that. Other than that, there is a special tool that Paccar or Kenworth Peterbilt you can get for this. It's $400 to turn the engine over. I actually made a tool myself. Had a spline shaft out of a Ford tractor transmission. I just cut it off and was able to weld it into a socket in order to change to bar the engine over. But once you either get the tool or you can figure something else out to turn the engine over with, because you can't. There's no big nut on the front on the balancer up here, so you can't do that. All there is the smaller bolts, and I was afraid I was going to snap one of those off. Once you get something to turn it over, there are marks. It's kind of hard to see here, but there is a notch, and they're marked. I'm on 3 and 4 right now. You can kind of see the little notch there, but there'll be 3 different notches on there, and on the bottom below each notch there'll be a couple of numbers. You'll have 1 and 6, 2 and 5, and 3 and 4. I've already done 1 and 6, so actually I did 1 and 6, 2 and 5, and now I'm on 3 and 4. It's on the flywheel. I mean, if you're underneath there, if you got the tool, it comes all the way out, and you can turn the engine from up here at front so you can watch the balance. Or otherwise, if you have something else, you have to get underneath here. And like I said, you can see it on the flywheel as well. So, like I said, I made a little tool. Just had a spline in there that meshes up with the start of the ring gear for the starter. And you can turn it over, and you got a little hole here where you can see, and you can see I'm on 3 and 4 right there, and it's lined up with that notch, so I know I'm on top dead center with either cylinder 3 or cylinder 4. So we can figure that out. Run back upstairs here. So here we got 1, 2, 3. Both 3 on 3, or sorry, 4, or no, we're on 3. Like I said, we're on cylinder 3 here, and as you can see, the exhaust rocker's loose, the intake rocker's loose, so we're probably on top dead center on that one. Because if we go over to 4, they're really tight, and you can actually see that they're pushed down slightly, so we know we're not on top dead center. Compression stroke on cylinder 4, so we're going to go ahead and do number 3. Basically, take your filler gauge. It's for your intake, we're at 50 millimeters. It's actually marked right there on your data panel, and it's also, I mean, you can find this information online as well, the specs. So we'll take our feeler gauges. I'm going to push this down, make sure there's no oil or nothing in there. And we'll go ahead and we'll check this for 28 thousandths. It's kind of hard to get it under there when I'm holding the camera. So basically, stick that in there and make sure it's, you know, you don't want it extremely tight, but just kind of where it slides in and out, nice and easy. And that one's, I mean, this truck has got 122,000 miles on it, so it's. The last 3 that I've checked, I haven't had to make any adjustments. Then we'll go to 20 thousandths, or 50 millimeters on the intake. And these have been a little tight, but I'm just going to leave them where they are. I don't want to I don't like to make something looser. But, it does go in. So I mean, if we did have to make an adjustment, you back these nuts off and you take a hex, or Allen or hex key, and you go ahead and make an adjustment whichever way you need to go. And when you tighten it back down, yeah, it's 47 foot-pounds for the nut when you tighten the set nut back down. But, other than that, I got 3 more to go, and we'll go ahead and put the valve cover back on, airbox back on. Fire it up, let it run for a minute, then I'll drop the oil and change oil on it and filters. But, hope this helps anybody out there. Like I said, there's not a lot of information. I kind of had to piece a lot of stuff together to kind of figure out what was going on myself, especially with that tool, because I've got a tool for a Cummins, a borrowing tool for the engine, but it won't fit in there. So I mean, maybe somebody else knows something out there, but I hate to pay $400 for a tool at Paccar, or the Peterbilt one. You know, it's just a way for them to get you in there to buy something. But again, hope this helps. Thank you.